Hello and welcome to Deep Insight. Two leaders who once shared warm smiles and public embraces are now walking very different paths. This is the unfolding story of Donald Trump and Narendra Modi, and how their relationship has shifted from close friendship to a tense geopolitical standoff. It began at the G7 summit on June 17, 2025. Prime Minister Modi arrived as a special guest, but President Trump left the meeting early. They missed each other by only a few hours, but in the world of diplomacy, such timing is rarely accidental. A missed handshake can sometimes speak louder than a speech. That very day, Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar made a public statement in Parliament. He dismissed the idea that there had been any American mediation between India and Pakistan. It was a polite but unmistakable way of telling Washington, "Thank you, but no thank you." Later that evening, Modi and Trump spoke for 35 minutes over the phone. During the call, Modi made it crystal clear that India did not require American mediation, especially in matters involving Pakistan. For Trump, this was not the message he wanted to hear. Just weeks earlier, Trump had been telling the world that he had played a key role in ending Operation Sindoor and brokering peace between India and Pakistan. India's blunt rejection of that claim felt like a public dismissal, and the American administration did not take it lightly. The very next day, Trump invited Pakistan's Army Chief Asim Munir to the White House. This was historic. Never before had a serving Pakistani general been formally received by a sitting US president. For Delhi, this was not a friendly signal. Trump had also extended an invitation to Modi for that same week, but Modi declined. He suspected the visit could be a setup, an opportunity to place him in a staged photo op with Munir. Instead, he traveled to Croatia to honor his prior commitments. When Prime Minister Modi refused to endorse that version of events, Trump shifted pressure to another front, India's oil trade with Russia. Trump demanded that India halt its purchases, claiming that Russian oil revenues were fueling the war in Ukraine. But here's the twist. While India was being threatened with penalties, the United States, China, and much of Europe continued importing Russian gas, uranium, and other resources without facing the same consequences. When questioned about America's own imports of Russian energy, Trump denied any knowledge of such trade. And when India still refused to stop buying Russian oil, Trump struck back with a heavy blow. A 50% tariff on all Indian goods entering the US market. The tensions then moved into the economic arena. Trump called India a dead economy with obnoxious trade barriers and imposed a 50% tariff on all Indian goods. It was a sharp escalation in rhetoric and policy. Modi responded firmly, saying, "We will negotiate, but we will not surrender." He acknowledged that standing his ground might come at a political or personal cost, but he made it clear that India's national interests would come first. For India, this is about more than exports or tariffs. It's about a worldview, no allies, no superpowers, no camps, only the freedom to grow and prosper on our own terms. And India isn't standing alone. Brazil's President Lula da Silva, also slapped with Trump's 50% tariff, refused to call Washington. Instead, he called Modi. Even Beijing, often at odds with New Delhi, is signaling support. China's envoy to India posted, "Give the bully an inch, he will take a mile." Then there's Russia. Despite Trump's fury over oil imports, Modi has invited President Vladimir Putin to India for the first time since the Ukraine war began. On a recent call, Modi promised to deepen India's special relationship with Moscow, a signal that New Delhi will not let Washington dictate its energy policy. All of these nations, India, Brazil, China, Russia, and South Africa, are part of the BRICS bloc. Together, they represent over half the world's population. If they act in unison, they could absorb the economic shock of US tariffs, or even trade among themselves to replace American demand. The public reaction in India was swift. A wave of anti-American sentiment grew online with calls to boycott brands like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Amazon and Apple. Some leaders even proposed developing India's own social media platforms, similar to China's approach. Yet, even amid rising tensions, not all cooperation stopped. Tesla opened its second showroom in Delhi, attended by both Indian and American representatives. Modi and Trump continued speaking, discussing regional security, the BRICS alliance, and the future of the Quad. Trump's strategy appeared clear, a hardball approach designed to pressure countries into making concessions. Tariffs and sanctions became tools in a broader geopolitical game. Some analysts suggest that this is not merely about Trump's personal decisions. They argue that the United States' deeper strategic establishment, the so-called deep state, plays a long-term game, using Trump's personality as the tough face of American diplomacy. And so we are left with the central question: who will blink first, Modi, Trump, or perhaps neither? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, share, and subscribe for more.